Tom Rockoff here. What we have right here is the proper way to use Memo with a React component. So let's take a look at this code. So what we have is what we want to do is with total count, we want to wrap this in useMemo. So as you can see, this is an expensive calculation. You have this for loop, you have let sum equals 0. And you have this for loop. So we start with I equaling 0. And if it's less than, as long as it's less than, I believe that's 10 billion. I think that's 10 billion. Then you're going to increment I. Okay, so what are you going to do? Well, sum is going to, the value of sum is going to basically keep going until it gets to 10 billion, number 10 billion. Okay, so that's going to be a big issue. So that's a really expensive calculation. So let's take a look at this. I'll get to my point at the end of the video. So what we have right here is we have a button right here. And when we click this button, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to toggle the theme from right here. We're going to toggle the theme from this value to that value. So we're going to toggle the theme. And so let's look at this right here. So let's look at theme style. So we have background color and we have color. Okay, so if dark theme is a truthy value, we're going to give this value. If it isn't a truthy value, we're going to give this value. With color, what we have is we have dark theme. If it's a truthy value, we're going to have this value. If we don't, if it's not a truthy value, if it's a falsy value, it's going to be this value. So that's what they call a ternary operator. So we have that. So what happens is, since this is wrapped in useMemo, when we toggle the theme, nothing's going to happen. It's not going to get called. Total count, the function total count right here will not get called. And the reason why is this dependency array with items. As long as items doesn't change, we're not going to have any issues. When items changes, then total count, this total count function gets called. Then we have some issues. So this is the proper way to use Memo. So as you can see right here, let's look at you see this JSX? We have this JSX. The thing you have to understand is that this thing gets toggled. This variable right here gets, this variable right here, total count, which is a function, it's going to get fired off. That's how it works in React, how it's positioned in the JSX. So this is the proper way to use Memo. So what does useMemo do? It caches the result of a calculation between re-renders. When do you use Memo? Only for computationally expensive operations like massive loops and heavy data filtering. So this is the proper way to do that. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.